Now we can extend the model, for example here, by adding a roof construction. We select multiple wooden sections. First we can select the trusses. Define these with dimensions of 20 by 20, and then simply click in the plan where these beams should lie. In this respect, we don't have to associate ourselves with a 3D view. EliteCAD is capable of accomplishing this autonomously. All you need to do is simply define at which position these wooden elements should lie, as you can see here. We can do the same with the other trusses. We would also like to show the distribution of the subsidiary rafters. Here we define the distance between the rafters, their length and their height. Now all we need to do is click on the individual roof sections, and in so doing, the common rafters have all been distributed around the roof. Peering into the drawing can show us exactly how this possibility has been achieved. Since the building components are already automatically set into position, we can see the whole roof construction by switching off the visibility of the roof. This simple command reveals the open display of all the roof construction elements, which we can view from any angle. The volumes, masses, number of building components, etc. of the whole 3D construction are all stored in the database. This allows us to produce various material lists and schedules. We can select, for example, the wooden structure. When we look into the report, we can see it divided into different areas such as flooring or rafters. We can also fetch up the total building statistics. Now we can, for example, look at the structure report for the rooms. In this view, we can see the specifications for each individual room, including areas, dimensions, materials, and so on. We can draw up a structure list of the roof, including areas and edges, which gives us statistical data, including tile type, surface area, inclination, etc. All the building components, the windows, the doors for example, we can draw up a detailed schedule for each of these. All this data serves as important information for the tendering. All these values can also be exported as data packages, which can then be imported and used within standard Office software to be modified and adjusted. We would now like to furnish the floor plan. To do this, we go into the three-dimensional library. The library contains more than 5,000 2- and 3-dimensional building components. We want to construct a kitchen within the living area. We select a range of kitchen units and set them into the plan. Here we can select an upper cupboard from the library. Place it into the drawing and select an under cupboard to match and place it in the same location. Further units are added. We can go here, select a sink unit and position this next to the kitchen units. Further units are added and of course a stove is also required, which is also placed into position. The height specifications of all the units are predefined, so you only need to place them correctly into the plan. Now we will add some wall units into the cafeteria. We can simply move this on top of one of the existing units already positioned on the floor to establish the correct position. Then simply copy this unit and move it on top of the other existing ones to correspond. By selecting all the units together, we simply drag them all to the right side in order to position the kitchen in the right corner. In order to make the view of the kitchen more plausible, we can cover the units with a nice wood finish, which we find in the material library. The material library has an extensive range of materials, making it possible for you to create just the visual effect you desire. Here we choose a type of stone from the library. We will choose this marble and allocate it to the kitchen work surface. This is how we can quickly create a nicely displayed kitchen.